Hello and welcome to another episode of Disney Movie Investigation. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the show. In each episode, we take a look at a movie that is featured on Disney+. On this episode, we are starting our Christmas month as we take a look at Chapter 3 of a Christmas trilogy when we take a look at the Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause. And stay tuned for our bonus story as we take a look at the Donald Duck short, The Hockey Champ. And if you are enjoying these episodes, I do ask that you please hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified with each new episode. Now, sit back and enjoy this episode of Disney Movie Investigation. So like I said, today we're covering the Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause. This movie was released on November 3rd, 2006, and it was directed by Michael Lembeck. It was written by Ed Decker and John J. Strauss. The production companies were Walt Disney Pictures, Outlaw Productions, and Boxing Cat Films, and it was distributed by Buena Vista Pictures Distribution. I couldn't find a budget for this movie, but the box office was $110.8 million. In terms of the production of this movie, filming would occur from December of 2005 to February of 2006 at Downey Studios. Originally, though, the look of the Jack Frost character was to be more of a British 1960s look. However, it was determined that the threat level was not up to par with Santa, and he just came off not intimidating. Also, Mrs. Claus was also supposed to be more chubby and round, but after initial filming, director Michael Lembeck was not able to get the emotional connection behind all the prosthetic makeup, so it was decided that the look of Mrs. Claus would be changed. So in terms of the cast, we have Tim Allen, who plays Scott Calvin, aka Santa Claus. Martin Short joins the cast as Jack Frost. Elizabeth Mitchell returns as Mrs. Claus. Judge Reinhold as Neil Miller. Wendy Crewson as Laura Miller. Alan Arkin as Bud Miller. Peter Boyle as Father Time, and Eric Lloyd as Charlie Calvin. So let's take a look at the plot. So Santa Claus has his problems. It is a few days before Christmas and production is lagging. Mrs. Claus is about to give birth to their first child and wants some family time. And Jack Frost is under probation under Santa Claus's supervision. Santa Claus is trying to support Carol by bringing her parents, Bud and Sylvia, to the North Pole for family time. He also brings his ex-wife Laura and her husband Neil and their daughter Lucy. And inside the toy factory, Jack is making mischief and hatches a plan to become Santa. With Santa juggling so many snow globes, something is bound to go wrong. But if things get too difficult, he can always exercise his option for the escape clause. So in terms of the legacy of this movie, for promotion of the movie, there was a tie-in video game released on November 1st, 2006 for the Game Boy Advance. And while this is the last Santa Claus movie, there was a follow-up TV series that was released exclusively on Disney+. So in terms of recommending this movie, I think the movie is a lot better than the second Santa Claus. And I think Martin Short does a really good job with the Jack Frost character. My only criticism is I wish there was more of the kind of alternate reality when Jack Frost, spoilers, ultimately becomes Santa. I would love to have kind of spent more time with that because there seems like a lot of build up to that. But then it's over so quickly. Like it's like the last third of the movie is the alternate reality. I wish they would have spent a little bit more time on that and less of the build up. But it's a small criticism. Overall, I think this is a great follow-up to the first one, and it kind of goes back to where it's all started from. So I thought it was a really good movie. So let's take a look at our bonus story as we take a look at The Hockey Champ. This short was released on April 28th, 1939. It was directed by Jack King, and it was written by Carl Banks, and it was distributed by RKO Pictures. In terms of the plot, Donald shows his nephews the moves that won him his hockey trophy, but the boys have a few moves of their own. So in terms of the legacy of the short, this is featured on the Disney Treasures Chronological Donald Volume 1. As well as this was the start for Carl Banks, who wrote the short. He would go on to write both Donald in both film and comics, as well as he is the creator of so many Donald comics that created the DuckTales universe as well. So this is kind of where Carl Banks got his start. In terms of short, Donald Duck shorts are always very funny, and I love the kind of play between Donald and Huey, Dewey, and Louie. So definitely check this one out. It is available on YouTube in its entirety. So thank you so much for joining us here on another episode of Disney Movie Investigation. I would love for anyone to leave a comment below on what they thought of the Santa Claus 3, as well as if you've seen the Hockey Champ. I would love to know your thoughts as well. So as we move forward to our next episode, we're going to be taking a look at another Christmas favorite when we take a look at Love Actually. So until next time, I hope you have a magical day, and we will see you real soon.